obviously I'm from she's not making it. What kind of the weather is too cold for some people to drive.
Well, the president of Georgia here, I can get that education from.
We all need to get like extra points for being here with you.
You do?
We're very happy that Ken is with us. Ken is the USPTA Georgia president, and he's doing a fantastic job. And this is our first workshop of the year, but we're hoping to have a couple more. Chase said you were here in our first workshop last year. So that's excellent. But we got some good speakers today. Ken is going to talk at 10 o'clock, and we have our newcomer, Gary. Gary comes all the way from Macon. And Augusta. The rest that we But it was good how we met because I went to a workshop and I spoke and Gary saw me. We met each other. And the next time that he saw me, he says, hey, if you ever do something wrong and you hear a speaker, I really want to speak. I would love to be part of that. So we get in touch and now he's here. We're excited to have you, Gary. But let me tell you a little bit about Gary. He's a full-time tennis professional with the Augusta Park and Recreation Authority. Before he coached at a private club in Louisiana for 4 years and 2 high school teams at Western Pennsylvania. He's a USPTA and PTR certified, was a cardio tennis, TRX cardio tennis, and he's a tennis performance trainer and the ITBA. Last year, Gary was awarded USPTA Southern Assistant Tennis Pro of the Year. And also one thing that is amazing about Gary is that he has over 65 education credits in 2014. So the guy's a machine. He's going to all the workshops, learning as much as he can.
Very level.
I feel this is your first time presenting.
It is, yes.
Excellent. Oh, and he's also part of the U30 professionals. That's a group of professionals that are 30 and under that are getting together and working to grow sport. So, Gary, very happy to have you. The floor is yours, buddy.
Thanks, Christian, for having me, and thanks, guys, for coming out and brave the cold weather. Like you said, this is my first presentation, so no tough questions. I'm going to go ahead and hand out just a few handouts here. If anybody needs a PDF version of this, I'll be more than happy to send it to you in an email. You guys can just follow along here. Everybody else? Here. So on the front is kind of my presentation, and then in the back is an article that I submitted for the Southern Standard. The tough thing about introductions is that you always have to follow them up, and I hope that my presentation will do that today. So to understand kind of this presentation and where I'm coming from, you kind of have to understand a little bit about me. One, I'm not supposed to be here. A lot of you play big-time college tennis, and I never had that opportunity to do so. My racket skills only took me so far. I got off to a late start. I started playing tennis when I was 13. I never had an opportunity to play in a USTA-sanctioned juniors tournament. Never had a ranking. And I'm a 4 or 5 player at best. On a good day, I'm a 4 or 5 player. However, I do feel like as Christian pointed out during the introduction, that I do feel that my resume is somewhat accomplished. There's a couple of things that are coming up later this year. I'll be coaching in Europe this summer for about a month. I'm going down with Michelle Krause, the IMDA Academy for the Cardio Tennis Train-the-Trainer Summit, which I'm really looking forward to in April. So how did I get here? I'm under the age of 30. I'm not a head pro. I'm not a director. I'm an assistant tennis pro. And for the longest time, for the first few years that I was in the industry, I felt very lost. I didn't exactly have a pathway lined up for me. I didn't really have someone to kind of take me by the hand and guide me along and say, hey, here's what you need to do. Here are some steps, some conferences that you should check out, some certifications. Here are some people that you need to meet. I didn't really have that. So for the first few years, I was just kind of languishing as an assistant tennis pro, doing the best I can, trying to fill up my lessons, and just trying to make a living that way. So it wasn't until a few years ago that I took a serious look at who I am as a person and as a tennis pro, and I stopped feeling bad for myself that I didn't play college tennis, or that I was a Division I pro, or that I'm not a 5.0, 5.5, 6.0 kind of a player. And I took a serious look at what my strengths were and how I could accentuate that and highlight what I'm doing on the court. I have a BA in history from Penn State University, and I have an MA in American Studies, also from Penn State. So I feel that I'm a pretty decent writer. I can research, and I don't mind public speaking, even though I'm very nervous right now. So I had to use those strengths and try and fill up and pad the resume, so to speak. And I became a member of the U30, which is awesome. It's a group of tennis professionals under the age of 30 in the southern section, although now it's pretty much nationwide, and I'm actually your event chairman for this section, so anytime I'm at conferences, sometimes I'll plan mixers and social events and things. We were up in Memphis 2 weeks ago. We hit up Beale Street pretty good. We were down in Atlanta last year, I think, and we had a great bowling party at Brunswick's. So I know a couple of you, 3 of you are under the age of 30, and hopefully you will consider joining today. So I put together this little presentation for my under 30 colleagues because I kind of wanted to help them out. And anytime that I go to conferences, Christian said that I have over 65 credits. I guess I believe him. I don't know how many I have, but I felt that I'm not in the same. I'm not alone in the boat anymore. I kept finding people that have similar experiences to me. So hopefully this presentation will help them just as it has helped me. Number 1 on the presentation, business cards. That sounds so simple, right? But it's not enough just to have them. Oftentimes, if you're under the age of 30, this is your first time having a business card. How do you use it? We all get that little box from the USPTA or wherever you get your business cards from, like Vistaprint. They come in that white box. I got a big pack of 250, and then it sat in my office desk for a year and a half. I didn't know what to do. It was the first time I ever had a business card. And I can't tell you how many conferences I've gone to, and I've met tennis pros under the age of 30. We'll exchange ideas, our favorite drills, talk about different experiences and things that we're kind of going through as assistant tennis pros. And then at the end of the week, I'll ask them, how do I get a hold of you? Can I keep in touch? Yeah, sure. You on Facebook? Okay, that's good. But we're tennis professionals. We're trying to be professional here. How about a business card? Or can I text you? Just text me. I get that a lot too. Like, okay, that's not bad. But again, trying to be professional. The flip side of that is with potential clients. I'm out on the street, at the supermarket, nonprofit organization, charity event. You never know where your next lesson is going to come from. So don't make people work to find you. Give them something. Like, just Google search me. Search for my name. Well, my name is kind of hard to spell. So if they search for me, they can't find me, boom, just lost that lesson. If I work in Atlanta and you can't throw a stone without hitting a tennis academy somewhere, and they forget where I work, now they're taking lessons from someone else. I don't want that, right? I want to take lessons from you. So make sure you have a business card. I carry them all the time now in my wallet. I got a big stack at home, big stack in the office, in the car, in my folder, in my tennis bag. I mean, I always have a business card somewhere. So please, business cards, but then use them.
So we look at business card too.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm terrible with that. Using the cards, I'm definitely. Yeah.
You make mine look so inadequate. That's not fair.
All right, number 2. Attend the conferences. Actually, it's with a caveat, participate. There's a difference. So, there's conferences all the time, right? Ken and Chris have been going to the conferences for years. conferences are great opportunities to learn from the best. You know, I've been able to hear from Faisal Hassan, Michelle Krause, Ken Andriano, Christian Lopez, of course, and Jorge Capistani, and Butch Staples, and Dave Ford, and all these great guys. And, you know, as a rookie in the industry, you know, I'm furiously just kind of copying down notes or videotaping every word that they're saying, trying to take it home, trying to learn from the best. And to a point, that's really good. It really helped my coaching, but it wasn't helping me along my career development path. So just attending and videotaping what you see or taking notes is good, but I started to branch out and use the conferences in a different way. I started to participate a little bit more. I wanted to meet people. I wouldn't be here today. Christian told that story about when we met. I think it was at the Standard Club last year, and it was your first presentation. Yeah. Defense, attack, finish. I still use it. Still think about it. I use it on Tuesday. I use it on Tuesday with the beginner. So I participated and I interacted and I established a relationship with Christian. That's why I'm here today. After his presentation was over, I met him at lunch. I said, "Hey, great presentation. Nice to see you." We exchanged business cards and we kept in touch. So I laid a foundation for conversation and a professional relationship with him. Met him again at the Atlanta Athletic Club, I think. And now I'm here today. What are some other ways that you can participate in a conference, aside from just sitting in your chair and taking notes? Anybody have any ideas? I got a bunch. No, I got a bunch. Question and answers. At the end of every session, there's a Q&A session, right? So come prepared with some questions to ask. Oftentimes, you'll have the itinerary beforehand. Look it over, look at the guest speaker, look at their bio, and come up with some good questions. And they will remember. What else?
Be part of the drills.
Be part of the drills. Thank you. That's a good one. Oftentimes, Pat Whitworth is there with his recording machine, right? And he's always uploading stuff to YouTube. So now you get some free FaceTime, too. And they're always looking for players to come out in your pit, oftentimes like pulling teeth. I remember at that same conference that you were at, I think Heather or maybe Michelle was out there doing like a cardio tennis drill. Right. Heather. And she needed like 6 or 7 more people, but nobody was raising their hands. Like, come on, let's go. So they need people to make their presentations work. What else?
So if you stay towards the end, then you get a chance to get more one-on-one too.
Yes, yeah. Not only staying late, because oftentimes people leave early. So you get a little one-on-one FaceTime, but also showing up early as well. At the registration table, oftentimes the person that has organized that event is there, maybe with a few helpers. Show up early, get your little goodie bag, and now strike up a conversation with a pretty influential person in the industry. What else? Got a few more ideas here. What else? At the end of every conference, Pat Whitworth, he's kind of in charge of the survey, so make sure to participate in the survey. Give a little feedback, your thoughts, your opinions on what happened, what you saw, what you learned. What else?
What's the little thing they have like a little barcode thing that you scan?
The QR reader?
Yeah. But that's one way to kind of participate in it. You have to do it within this time zone to earn the points.
Get the credits?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's usually towards the end of the session.
Started doing that just to make sure people participated in the event. It used to be where you just signed up and you got X amount of credits for it. I like this because now going to it, I force you to do a little bit different dollars. And I think everything you're talking about is really heading towards networking, which is great. And
Yep.
you're going to hear me say that a lot.
What else? I got a few other ideas. Think outside the box here, guys.
That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to be
What's that?
that guy.
What's that?
Just grab it at the end of the day.
Grab a beer. All right, that kind of leads into my favorite. Lunch.
Sit with somebody that you don't know.
Oftentimes, I'll see U30s, and we'll go out out to, I mean, it's a world conference or it's a division meeting, and they go out and they grab something. Or they'll go out and they'll just grab some fast food just by themselves or with somebody that they already know. You can go to Subway anytime. Go to Subway in your hometown. Ken, and he's grabbing a bunch of guys, or Bill Riddle up in Tennessee. They're going to the Fox and Hound. Join them. There's maybe 6 or 7 of us out of a total of 55 people at the Memphis conference, but I got to talk with Bill a lot. And Bill's a very smart, talented tennis professional. So I got to pick his brain a little bit, just because I was at lunch. And we got to play pool and darts, and we had a beer, and we had lunch, and it was a great networking opportunity. And we talked about U30 for 30 minutes, and he was very excited to help us. So, lunch or socials. I mentioned that I'm the event coordinator for this section. So oftentimes, if there's a mixer at a conference, I mentioned Brunswick, I mentioned Beale Street. We're in the middle of planning our own U30 conference. It's going to be the first ever in the country. Hopefully sometime in July or August up in Tennessee. Make sure you're there.
Is that only going to be open to U30 or to everybody?
I think it'll be open to O30s as well. But we're going to have a bunch of socials and mixers and activities, so make sure you participate in those. It's a great chance to kind of meet people and share ideas, and oftentimes you'll find people in the same boat as you, having the same experiences and same troubles, trials and tribulations, and so on and so forth. Can anybody think of anything else? Just one more. And as U30s, this kind of pertains particularly to us. Social media. Lots of pictures, lots of videos. Make sure you start an album, a group page, something, and start a conversation online. Man, had a great time with Bill Riddle up in Tennessee. Great presentation, Pat. Photos, group photos, all having fun, and they'll remember you because they'll look back.
Also, we do have, if you're on Facebook, go to USPTA Georgia. We have a site, like it. You can get in there and see what's going on. Try to go in there and put the people on there, but that's perfect what you're saying. Just put it on there, let everybody see it.
All right. I'm running out of road here. Tip number 3, follow up. One of my favorites. After the conference is over, Christian, on Monday morning, what was in your email Monday morning? An email from me. Hey, Christian, what's up? Great presentation. Can't wait to see you at the next conference. Bye. It was something simple. It was like 2 or 3 sentences. And I do that for every single guest speaker. I go down through the itinerary, I find their email, I exchange business cards with them. Ken, nice to see you again. We'll see you at the World Conference in New Orleans this summer. Just laying the foundation for conversations and establishing a relationship with these influential people. That's one of my favorites because it's not something that a lot of people do, I don't think. I only know of a few people, few colleagues that do it. If you do it, email, or if you become Facebook friends, keep in touch from time to time. And who knows, maybe you'll be speaking at a conference someday yourself. Anything else with follow-up? Any questions on that? Okay, tip number 4. Get involved. I was at the World Conference in Orlando a few years back. I was at a specialty course with Faisal Hassan. If anybody has ever been with Faisal, he's very energetic, very personable, and he has the best sayings, but he kind of said something that really stuck with me for ever since. He said, people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. So by getting involved in your local community, you are now expanding your base of contacts. So not only do you get the satisfaction of helping others maybe less fortunate than yourself, but at the same time, those charities, those organizations, those nonprofits, they're always looking to raise money, right? They're always looking to do some kind of benefit fundraiser. How about a benefit tennis fund? You can be their contact person. Now all of a sudden you're getting in 50, 75, 100 people at your club just because they know you. And they want to use you and your facility to raise money for a good cause. and you know, you might be able to get free lessons to that. I know what's happening with me. Does anybody do any kind of charity work here? Ken? What do you do?
We have a charity event, we do a pro-am at our club, so, and it's for the sport of giving. So get involved, one of our members, the chairperson, started the organization. So we started, this is the third year, I think. And so I have 30 pros come in, play with our members, so we'll play with it. It's a really fun event, different levels from, I'd say, 3-0 up to 4-5, men and women. And the members pay anywhere from $500 to $1,000 participating in that. And by doing that, we raise money. So we did, I think, $60,000 last year. We raised for sport giving. And what's great about the pros, and I play a lot, and I've worked in Dunwoody with Christian. I think it was over 200,000 we did last year, which is, they've been around for a lot longer than ours. But it's a way for me to give back. It's a way that I can do something for something. I don't have money. I can't write a check. I can't. But I think tennis has given us a lot. So it's a good way to go do it. Feel good about yourself and really raise money for you. It's awesome.
Definitely. What about maybe on a little bit of a smaller scale, trying to think outside the box here? Local charities, local organizations, anything else?
I do a Toys for Tots event,
Oh, great.
and it's really just a mixer. Don't bring a toy when you pay $15. Our CTA helps us a lot with beverage and food and everything. Last year it didn't happen because the weather wasn't perfect, but still people came, brought the toy, wrote a check, still everything. This year I may have, well, I want to have a breast cancer awareness mixer, and March 4th is going to do an event as well.
Both of those are very worthy causes. One of my favorites is Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I like to give back to an organization that has kind of transformed my life. And Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, even Girl Scouts, they all have like these physical fitness merit badges. I think there's actually a tennis belt loop now for the Cub Scouts. So you're the local expert in town, right? They need you. So bring them into your club. Invite the pack, invite the den mothers, the scout masters, whatever. You now have 10, 20, 25, 30 people coming into your club. Do it for free. You can knock it out in a few hours. Show them that you care. You got the parents right there, so you're kind of auditioning for lessons right there, right? I know I've done a few lessons just from doing that, just by showing that I care, and by volunteering to do this. Anytime that there's a raffle, find a local charity that's doing some kind of raffle. Churches are big with this as well. And volunteer yourself as a prize. Volunteer a lesson. Get them in the door. You may not even have any kind of affiliation with that church or that American Heart Association, what have you. Just volunteer a 1-hour lesson. Now you have that person in the door and on the court. If you give a great lesson, what are the chances that they're going to come back? Pretty good. Yeah. I mean, you got them in the door for free. And give them a great experience, and they'll come back. All right, moving on. Tip number 5. Personally, this is one of my favorites. If anybody knows me, you know why.
Everyone's even bored.
Publish. This is one of my favorites, right? As I said, I think I'm a pretty decent writer. I've published a few things in the Southern Standard. The U30 has a newsletter called the Southern Staple. I've done 1 or 2 things in the Advantage magazine, Tennis View magazine, the local paper, Valdosta Daily, and I'm now writing for a website, thetennisreview.com. It's a website based out of the UK. So by publishing, you kind of differentiate yourself from fellow tennis pros, and you can show that you can bring more to the table. So to future employers, I mean, we're all USPTA certified, right? So we can all pretty much give a pretty decent lesson. But if I show that I'm a published author, in addition to what I do on the court, now that sets me apart, right? and I can add to my resume. Has anybody taken a hack at writing before? Yeah, Ken, I know you've written a few things for the USPTA.
Yeah.
Anybody else? You all went to college. You all have great educations. Use it, right? You try to show that you're not just another body on the court just speeding balls. You know, you're more than that. Being a tennis professional, to me, it's so much more than that. You have a chance to impact your community for the better, impact the lives of your students, your juniors, and it's not just what you do on the court as a professional, as a coach. It's what you do off the court as well, in the office, participating in your USPTA or what have you. So try to get involved and show that you're more than just a human ball machine. Any questions on that?
How would you go about finding a place? Like I said, I worked one time, but if I wanted to write some blog, how would you do it? Just email the magazine, or would you just contact people?
You can email a proposal of what you want to the magazine, or maybe a small rough draft, and then they'll get back to you and say, yeah, this is good. Please expand on this, please elaborate on this, and then we publish it. I know with the Southern Standard, just email Pat, and if he doesn't use it in that month's magazine, then he'll keep it and then he'll reuse it later. And try to be creative with your writing. It doesn't have to be on court tennis. A lot of what I've written is about networking, marketing. I'm an avid reader. I've read every tennis book there is. I like book reviews, and I know it's started to fly my nerd flag so high, but I started my own website called readtheracket.com, and I submit book reviews. So if you happen to read anything, if you really enjoyed a book, one comes to mind, Arthur Ashe's Days of Grace, his autobiography. If you haven't read that yet, it should be on your reading list today. As tennis professionals, it is outstanding. Write a few thoughts down and then submit it to me. Now you're a published author.
There's a new one. There's a writer from Cedartown or Rockmart. He just drew one. It's called Right There. He's emailed me a couple, but it's about to be published soon. So if you want to read it, or I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm on vacation next week, so I'll read it.
Yeah, that's great. All right, any questions on publishing? Also, your local paper, they often have an online portion as well. They're always looking for content. Content is king, right, on the internet. So they're always looking for editorials, opinion pieces. And you're the expert. You're the local expert. So share what you know. Share your knowledge. All right, number 6. Maybe a little on the board here. I had an opportunity, get online. I had an opportunity last year. I won a scholarship for the U.S. Tennis Congress with P.J. Simmons, Faisal Hassan. That was out in Tucson, Arizona. And I'm sitting at the awards banquet, and I see all these. Tim Mayock, back in the 90s, he's sitting over here. Jorge Capistani is over here to my left. Just all these big-time tennis pros and influential leading figures in our industry, and I'm just kind of surrounded. I'm kind of awestruck, right? And I'm kind of going through all their bios on the itinerary, and I noticed one thing that they all have in common. Every single one of them is online in some form of fashion, and that's the kind of way the industry is going now, right? Tennis instruction isn't so much on the court anymore as it is digital. I kind of came to that realization. You can just kind of go through the list there. Mike Farrell, Evolve9.com, Jorge Capistani, TennisStrills.tv. He has another one, Capistani.com, at the top of the Strills. Jan Ozu, Tennis Central, he just created a new app. Scott Baxter, Play Your Court. And the list goes on and on. Does anybody happen to know any other tennis pros that are online now? Ken, do you happen to know of anybody else that's online? We have an app. Kovacs, an app with ITPA. There's a slew of apps out there, right? Oh, yeah, John Andel, yeah,
We
sure.
had him for specialty drugs last year.
So these are like really, really big names in the industry, and they're moving online, and there's a reason because of it. So, if you, any pro that's worth their salt is online now. So, find your strengths, accentuate those strengths, and get online in some form or fashion. Now, as a under-30 tennis professional, that might be a little difficult because it does take a little money to get online. So you may just want to start out with social media or maybe even your own YouTube page. I know some people that are moving in that direction. There's a couple free websites out there that you can just have a very basic layout. Put your resume on there, a couple pictures, your ideas, your experiences, and then build up from there.
And this year, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, sure. Now you're hitting up all the social media networking sites. And any other ideas about how to get online? To me, I think it shows some initiative, some ambition that what you're doing on the court is great, but you want to add to what you're doing on the court. Yeah.
I think that's good. Show what you're doing to separate yourself from the other guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Say it again.
So, I know you were talking about the library perspective of just blogging, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Start your own blog. Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, not every tennis pro is online, although I think eventually the great majority of us will be. But at this point in time, a very small percentage of them, and it's really just the big guys that are online. So show that you deserve to be in the same sentence with those guys. Get online, and you all have different perspectives, right? So make the effort, get online in some form or fashion, even if it's just very simple, very basic. You can always build up on that thing. Okay. Tip number 7. This is going to be kind of controversial. And I can hear the groans through the webcam right now. Become a USTA official. Is anybody kind of moaning and groaning inside? Oh, what's this guy talking about? I'll give you a story. Pretty much all these tips have stories behind them, right? I recently became an official, a certified USDA official a few months back. And I passed all the tests, I did the workshops and whatnot, and I was going out for my first day of work. And I won't tell you exactly where it was or who it was with, but I did a good job. And at the very end of it, the guy was like, the director, man, you should come work for us. I kind of struck me. And like anybody else, I was flattered. I thought about it for a little bit, and obviously I didn't take him up on his offer. But why would he say that to me? No, I was just an official. I mean, he knew that I was a tennis pro. So I kind of ran through the weekend of my performance and how I did. I think I did a good job officiating, but it was more than that. One, I showed up early. I showed up before he did. I stayed late. The tournament ran smoothly. And I showed that I could deal with people in a public setting. I could problem solve. I was punctual. I was professional. I dressed nice. I had the uniform on and everything, the nerdy USDA uniform, right? So that kind of struck me as odd. Being a USDA official and a tennis pro, it's almost like an ad hoc interview, right? You're going to these sites with tennis directors and managers and other tennis pros, and you're now establishing relationships with that club. They might have an opening in a few months. They already know you. You already had your foot in the door. Oh yeah, I remember that guy. He officialed for me 2 months ago. He did a great job. And he's a tennis player, so I might bring him in. Get to know the tennis pros there. You're working with them at the tournament anyway. And if you do a good job, the tennis director will more than likely remember you. Any questions on officiating? It really is worth your time. It doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't take a lot of time. The tests are online, and I think you have to go through a workshop. That's kind of like an all-day thing. But grit your teeth, bear through it. And now you're traveling throughout your state, your section, you're meeting more tennis pros, and again, you're expanding your base of contacts.
So that's a great way. You know the rules, and we've done it with USPTA and GPTA, have USTA officials come in, and because I know when we have teams, they have questions. And this is the best way that when you look educated, that will help you. They'll go to you more. You want to be that friend reference. That's a good. It's the best way to learn it. Because it's not fortunate. I don't know that. I'll find out later.
Cole just did it last weekend.
It's awesome. You're official? He's officially official. He's the best way.
All right. So I've kind of been going in order of significance, and I saved the best for last, and that is become a member of the U30. So I'm wearing my T-shirt here, and like I said, I'm your event chairman for this section. The U30, when I joined it a few years back, it completely transformed my coaching acumen on the court. Now I can network with people my own age. We're all in the same boat together. We all have the same experiences, and we're all trying to build upon our tennis drill base, right? You don't know that many drills just yet. We're 20, 21, 22. 3 across, right? Simple. But it's got to be more than that. So sharing drills, marketing tips, getting to know people, and more importantly, it's free to join. We have our own website now, u30.rocks. You can check it out. There's a sign-up page. Kate McClarty is our president. She's done an awesome, awesome job organizing us. Go and check out the website, fill out the survey.
What is the name of the website?
u30.rocks.
How many members are in Georgia for U30?
And I don't know about in Georgia, but in the southern section is over 55 now. And
It's only about a year old. It just started last year.
yeah, we've hit the ground running in the past year, but it's been around for in some form or fashion for about 2 years.
Yeah. It's really starting to get now. It's awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, we're planning our own conference, the first U30 conference, so you're definitely going to want to be a part of that. We're going to have some U30 speakers as well as some O30 speakers. You get a T-shirt. There's always some kind of social events and mixers attached to the conference. And there's an opportunity to grow as a professional. So if you want to show some leadership skills and some ambition, some initiative, there's a slew of committees that we have that may pertain to your strengths as a tennis player. So I like to organize events. I'm the event chairman. And if you want to help me, then you can be on my committee. If you're good with marketing, there's a committee for that. If you're good with high performance kids, there's a committee for that. There's education committee with Dan Beadle. There's a 10 and under committee with Marlon Woods, fellow chairman up in Tennessee or Virginia. So there's ways to get involved, right? So if you need to pad the resume a little bit, if you need to show that you're more than just a human ball machine, get involved and help us out. Because this thing is going nowhere but up. Okay? And it's free. And oftentimes we'll get discounts on registration as well. So for U30 tennis pros, oftentimes for assistants, struggling to get by maybe, that discount on registration definitely helps a lot. And sometimes it's flat for you. So check it out, save a little money, and get involved. All right. So those are my tips. And now it's your turn. So I'm going to pass around some paper, and if we can kind of split here and then here. And I want to get you guys kind of together and come up with 1 or 2 tips of your own. And remember, it pertains to U30, under-30 tennis professionals. So time may be a factor. Money may be a factor. And experience may be a factor.
So you want to tip in terms of
Tip for tennis professionals under the age of 30. And I got 1 or 2 to help you out just in case. So I'll give you 5 minutes, talk it out.
what?
One, two.
evening when they do it. Save your receipts for your tax.
I think it has to be more like no. What about I guess
You guys are about to 30 up.
I am. Think, I mean, to me, when I think about under-30, it's probably just people.
Christian, we're going over 10 o'clock. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's just,
So I think, like you were saying,
it's just us today.
Okay, 2 or 3 more minutes.
Yeah, no,
Alright.
Yeah, take your time.
yeah.
Wow.
Very flexible.
Guys, I'll give you 1 or 2 more minutes here.
To me, that would
We
be.
get points for this, we win. Yeah.
Nuts.
Everybody wins. That's right.
Dunkin' Donuts for everybody.
There's a conference, we might be able to make the point.
Alright, guys, what do we have?
Chase,
Who wants to go
person
first?
here.
Wait a second, what? Alright, group number 1 over here to my right.
You had me write it down and tell everybody.
Alright, what do we have?
Well, I'm writing this last one.
Alright.
He's got to write it.
Okay. I wrote down like you have to keep track of your
That's right.
purchases and mileage of your taxes, so that you don't end up owing the government half of what you owe and half of what you made.
That's a really good one.
Already
Thank you for that one. That's really good. I mean, I just did my taxes, and I went through that online, just that turbo taxing. I got to the point where you could write stuff off. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
But I go to so many conferences, like gas and registration and business lunches, and I could save all those receipts.
Especially
So I'm doing that this year.
you're independent.
So that's really, but as a U30, but you're thinking U30, which is great, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't have a lot of money. We need to save money. So this is big. This is a really good one. Thank you so much for sharing.
Take that.
What else you got?
I'm sure that didn't came from Russell.
I love
Hey, he's
that.
a team. He's a team.
I love that one. What else?
Good work ethic, punctuality.
I can
Alright, so-
with that is most of the coaches under 30s, some of them is going to be the first job in the industry. So like you were saying, just showing good work ethic may open the door for, the next step.
I'm gonna abbreviate that as living your life with integrity, right?
Yes.
Um,
Living by example.
Again,
Lopez.
that pertains to U30, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that comes from Christian.
You're allowed to have a social life, but make sure that you wake up in the morning sober, ready to go. Good. Okay. So again, we're thinking U30 here. Good.
Punctuality.
All right. So okay. So yeah, punctuality.
Professionalism. Alright, going extra mile.
Going extra mile. How's that?
I don't know. That's
Not only do what you are supposed to do, but do more.
So what's on your
Above and beyond.
job description, but also get out of it, the boat and like
Sure.
extreme things you mentioned.
So if you're an assistant tennis pro and you're teaching ladies clinics, but one of the ladies has a birthday,
That
little birthday
yeah.
card, or make a special mention like, hey, happy birthday, show that you remember, go above and beyond. That's just one thing.
That's good. I like that, go above and beyond. One thing that I think about, whenever I start a new job, my wife always knows. She won't see me for the first 6 months. And so you start a job, and the most important thing is to show the effort, talk about professionalism and everything. And I know there's one job, I took a job in Greensboro, in North Carolina. And my family was still in New York. We were just in the process of moving. So I had a month and a half to 2 months without my family. So I was at the club 7 days a week. Right? So what happened, there was 3 pros, plus a director. So as lessons started coming in, I also befriended the person at the front desk, the pro shop manager. Right? I was always there. So when lessons started coming in, who did they go to? Started going to me. And that's something going above and beyond. Spend extra time. Just spending extra time right there and being accessible. That's going extra mile. That's showing your employer what you're talking about. Showing the employer that, hey, I can trust this. I can count on that. That's something.
Not just going 9 to 5.
Yep.
But
I'm not looking to teach and lead. I'm looking to do something else.
Okay. What else we got?
last one was like stay involved in local events and organizations.
All right. So get involved.
Yeah. So I've only been to a few. I went to this one here today. Last time I was here, I went to your event in Atlanta.
In December?
No, the Senate showed up. And
Oh, yeah, BB&T. That was
yeah,
awesome.
that one.
Yeah, we're going to do something like that.
Not your 20.
I was, yeah, I just turned 20 when I went to that.
Okay. I think you guys have something.
Yeah, that was free, so it's great.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
$3.99.
Great. Yeah. Definitely thinking U30 here. All right. Group number 2. What do we got?
First thing was fundamental.
Fundamental.
USPCA state president. That's the middle was Christian Lopez.
No.
Yeah, and that's what fundamental.
And why would that be beneficial for you?
Well, you can going to first week you start out, you get in touch with someone who knows everybody.
That's one thing that you said when you first got into it. You felt lost. You felt alone.
I did.
And that's one thing that we're talking about, and I'll get into it a little bit as well in my talk. But Todd Upchurch, who's president of Southern, went right in and said, we need to start a mentorship program so you don't feel that way. If you don't know where to find a mentor, contact me. Contact your state president. It's very easy. Go on to USPTA U3. You'll find the state president. The contact information is right there. Contact them. I'll mentor anybody who wants to talk to me. I'll be happy to talk to anybody. And I can help find someone in that area. We have a lot of people that want to help.
Well, here, I'm speaking for small communities. My tennis experience is in Rome. Before this job, I was working at Coastal Country Club with JP. We really didn't. We don't have the people that you guys have in Atlanta. We don't have the lunch and learns and everything. So having Christian come here has been. I've definitely learned a lot from him. So for you guys that are in there, I think definitely gonna be free space.
Oftentimes,
He's in it all.
Yeah.
in other industries, your developmental pathway is kind of laid out for you as you get into it. You have to do A, B, and C, and then you get to D, and so on and so forth. And you kind of climb the corporate ladder, so to speak. We don't really have that in the tennis industry, so it's kind of muddy, kind of foggy, and you don't really know where to go or what to do or who to talk to or
But you say something very important. A lot of it is based on your tennis skills. Like, oh, you play ATP, okay, you should be a really good coach. And a lot of times it's not like that. Far away
no,
from
it's not.
far away from it. So that's
All right, good. I like my foot. What else?
First you mentioned participating programs.
Pro-Am, good. That was at the last conference that we were at. Good. And that's something that I like to get involved in.
And the thing with that is that if you live in Atlanta, like Ken runs a very good program, but everybody wants to fight to play for it. But even if you do a program in Valdosta, we do a program here in Rome, we might not have the money to, when we were talking to this together, if we run a program here in Rome, we don't have the $250 to pay somebody from Atlanta. But if you're around the area, if you call me up and say, hey, I need a program, do it. Be part of it. Just offer your time. I did a program with Les at Seven Hills with the Special Olympic, and I played tennis with little kids without syndrome, and he didn't make money, but that experience itself is just so, you gotta do it as part of your job as a professional. Just do these little things for free. Only take a couple of hours, and then whatever you can get to.
So why is a Pro-Am good for an under-30 tennis professional? Specifically.
Network.
Networking. Thank you.
And the members. There's a lot of pros in Atlanta that play a program, and they in the tennis industry. They meet this guy, he runs his own business, and now he's like, hey, come and work for me. And now finally they quit tennis, but they find a different opportunity in life to that.
We just had one actually Mitch Nadi, who was in Atlanta, just moved here a couple of years ago. I coached him when he was 14, 15 when I was in New York. We kept in touch. Came out here, started the director at Capital City, Bill Anderson, was looking for a junior director. Mitch played the junior prom at Ansley Country Club. Bill played it. They played against each other. Never forgot him. Contacted him. Guess where Mitch is? He's working for Bill now. Okay. A very big job. He's 26 years old. Wow. And he's only good, and he's killing it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be working for him by the time he's 30. I'm all seriousness. But, yeah, you never know, and you said it before, you never know who your next possible employer is going to be. And playing events like this, I play 5, 6 programs a year, only because where we live. We don't have those. You might not find a lot of those. But we don't play for the money. You don't make a lot of money. You know, like I said, a lot of times I have pros that play in mine that donate I pay $200 for 2 days. He donates it to the charity. He doesn't even want them every week. Right? So it's your way of giving back. It's your way of separating yourself from someone else.
What else do you got?
Observe the experience programs like that, going to, like if you're, especially if you're in Atlanta, go to another big club, like where coaches and watch how they teach, you know, watch how they deliver it.
All right, so as an under-30 tennis professional, you've only been in it for a couple of years, right? So now I've seen Bill teach, and I've seen him present at conferences, and my jaw just drops every time because he really knows his stuff. So I have an opportunity to kind of copycat and mimic and grab some things from Bill and take it to my own club and highlight kind of what I'm doing on the court and provide a better learning experience for my juniors. Yeah, good. Anything else?
Establish relationships with local principals around here to CTA.
Thank you. I was hoping somebody was going to get that. CTAs. All right, so again, thank you, 30. Why would having a positive relationship with your local community tennis association help you as an under-30 tennis professional?
I got a good relationship with the CPA. I think that they were in the committee to hire the director for this facility, and I had a good relationship with them. So, I mean, they pretty much hired me. So, showing what you can do, have a good relationship with them. You never know what they can offer.
I had a wonderful CTA in Louisiana. And I went to the meetings Wednesday. I had to call off the lesson to go, but I knew it was important to go above and beyond, right? Oftentimes, they would help me go to conferences. They didn't really have to. Like, I would ask them, hey, can I get $50 to go to the state workshop? And, yeah, sure, it's in the budget. We'll take care of that. Or we'll get you lunch while you're over there. Or sometimes they know somebody in like the hotel industry, so they put me up in a hotel at the conference, and they kind of fostered my developmental pathway as a tennis pro. So get to know your CTA. They're wonderful people. They're not tennis pros, but oftentimes they might sponsor you for your furthering education.
A lot of them they're volunteers. They don't know much about how things work besides playing big tennis, so you can really educate them.
Another reason, your CTAs are homegrown people. They live there, they work there, and they need lessons, or they know somebody who needs lessons. So go to the meetings, go to their events, email the president. Hey, you've been here for 20 years. Do you happen to know anybody that needs a lesson? Just another good way to network and try to add to your lesson base. All right.
When I just found out, just thinking of it, especially when the mentor thing got brought up, I was thinking like managing yourself through your time. Like whether it's like you don't, like I guess with the mentor program, if you don't have enough, if you're having trouble reaching out to people to get stuff going, maybe you can reach out to the mentor to help manage your time to make it more constructive and proactive in your community and get some mixture of you're on top of yourself, you know what I mean? And make sure
So as a year very professional.
make sure you're being a better manager of yourself because you are your business, I guess, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And as an assistant tennis pro under the age of 30, the majority of us are, you're being asked to wear a lot of hats. You may have a juniors program, you got ladies clinics, you got Alta, you got USDA stuff, you got the cardio tennis program, and then you have tournaments on the side. That's a lot to keep up with. So yeah, finding a mentor to kind of help you stay on top of it.
Sometimes a mentor might not be your boss. Sometimes a mentor might not be somebody close to you, might be somebody in a different state. You spend time with somebody that knows you.
That already went through all this stuff. Yeah.
And another thing that is probably really important is that don't be afraid to mess up without the basic integrity living. If you are young, that doesn't mean that you cannot create a brand. Or you cannot create a charity event. It might be with 4 players at the beginning, or it might be a charity that you raise $500, but it's still something that can grow with time. You don't have to. A lot of time, and that's one of the things with my old boss. Whatever I wanted to do, he gave me a chance to do it. If you work or you didn't, you'll see.
All right, so take risks.
Yeah, without a basic,
Foundation. You
have
have to have the foundation.
You want to, we have a coach, and then we decided to do camps for the kids at night during the summer. Why not? At night is cooler than during the day. Try it. If it doesn't work, then don't do it anymore. But at least give it a try. You're not going to see somebody don't do it because it's outside the law.
You can learn more from your failures than your successes.
Good point. I have one more. One thing that's kind of transformed my furthering education is become certified in cardio tennis. So you go into a new club, and oftentimes, you're as a U30, you're kind of stuck as the 10 and under coach, or the high school coach, or junior team tennis, and the babies, the little kids, the little all-stars. So being certified in cardio tennis, you can show that you can branch out, you can teach large groups. Under 30, we're young, we're energetic, we're youthful, we bring a lot of energy to the court, which is exactly what cardio tennis requires. So we're kind of well suited to teach a cardio tennis or even a TRX cardio tennis course. So that's one of my favorites. This is a really good lesson. I'm going to have to come up with
Here, right?
Yeah, 16 tips for the.
Thank you, Mom, Georgia.
It's a specialty course now. So turn to a specialty course.
Ooh,
You gotta
thanks,
go
Ted.
out. Seriously.
All right. Any questions on anything that we covered? All right. Just to wrap up, thank you so much, Christian, for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Ken, it was good seeing you again. My under-30s, when am I going to get in my mailbox on Monday morning? An email. Hey, Gary, great presentation. Awful presentation. I'm going to remember it forever, but become a member of the U30. It's free. There's absolutely no reason to not sign up. Okay? So, and if you want to find, we're talking about finding a mentor, right? We're going through this stuff. Talk to Caitlin. Dan Beadle is our education guy up in the Windike Country Club. He's doing awesome with his committee. So make sure to reach out, get involved, and we'll kind of help you in your career development path. Also, yeah, just to thank my fellow U30s, their support. I kind of bounced a bunch of ideas off of them in Memphis and over the past couple months. So thank you so much to my U30s watching this on the U30 website. And thank you so much. I'm looking forward to a great day. Thank you.
We'll take a 5-minute break, guys, and then
Just a fast break.
donuts.
Yeah.